Sean, what are you doing?
Dressing up like my alter ego, Deadpool.
You're not Deadpool.
But I break the fourth wall all the time.
You're gonna get us demonetized if you keep this up.
Fine. Give me a minute.
Today we're tackling something that's been buzzing louder than a rogue Iron Man suit. Superhero fatigue. Is it real? Is the bubble finally bursting? Or are we just tired of mediocre movies pretending to be cinematic events? The idea of a Hollywood phenomenon rising and falling isn't new. We've seen it with silent films, gangster epics, westerns, musicals, you name it. Hollywood finds a formula that works and they milk it until the udders are dry. Whether it's Universal's monster movies in the 30s, the blaxploitation movement, or even space operas after Star Wars, history shows us these trends have a shelf life. So is the summer of 2025, with its barrage of Marvel and DC blockbusters, the beginning of the end for the superhero reign? With Avengers movies on the horizon, Disney planning X-Men reboots, Sony clinging to Spider-Man, and James Gunn kicking off a whole new DC universe, it seems unlikely this gravy train will stop anytime soon. But then again, history does love to repeat itself. Let's unpack what's been happening. For years, superhero movies were the undisputed kings of the box office. But lately, something feels off.
We reviewed all of the major superhero releases this year, starting back with Captain America Brave New World, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, and Superman. And what's interesting to me is how well received these films were by critics and by fans, with the exception of Captain America, which the critics didn't love. The fans loved them all, and the critics loved the other three. We're not watching Madam Web. We're not watching Craven the Hunter. We're not watching the Marvels. We're not watching Quantum Mania. And if you watch those movies and you watch these, then yeah, you're gonna grade it on a curve and say these are better than, those. And yeah, compared to those, this may be great. But I'm not grading on a curve. And these movies weren't that special to me, and I'm not surprised they didn't make any more money than they did.
It was a little surprising, though, that there was such good reviews and such good word of mouth, and yet the box office wasn't really there for most of these. That really surprised me. Where's the money going?
Where the fuck is the money? You don't see it on screen. And there was a point where these superhero movies felt like spectacles. I mean, you would watch Captain America 3, Civil War. All of the superheroes are fighting each other like you're playing with your toys as a kid. You can joke about it and say, hey, that the stakes aren't that serious because they're making quips. But it was a great action set piece, and you saw these superheroes using their different powers against each other, and like, oh, who would win if that guy fought that guy? And it was a fun action set piece. And then you had, at the end, you had Iron Man against Winter Soldier and Captain America. It was a great action set piece, and you saw fighting between characters that you loved, and they seemed like consequences and stakes. And where's the action in these movies? I mean, Superman was my favorite of the bunch this year, but I mean, he fought like a Godzilla knockoff, but he was mainly trying not to hurt it. And aside from that, he just fought like a different version of himself, and it's just a bunch of like people punching each other with no real consequence because they're both Superman. You can't hurt either one of them. So it didn't really feel that special to me. There was no like real showdown or anything, much less when you're talking about people who just have like super soldier serum fighting Marvel's version of Superman. They had no chance against a Century in the Thunderbolts, So and then you have Captain America against the Hulk. Like, come on, what are we doing? Like a guy with metal wings and a shield is fighting the Red Hulk. They didn't feel special in terms of the action set piece or the action.
Yeah, and I mean, Superman even starts after some kind of major fight has occurred, and we don't see it.
It seems like everything that we're seeing is just setting up more things to see in the future. What happened to just a self-contained movie? Why can't I just enjoy the movie I'm watching? People talk about, oh, you need to watch all these previous Marvel, TV shows and streaming shows to understand what's going on, and people are giving up. Forget that. I mean, there are plenty of movies that are not superhero movies where characters have backstories that you don't have to see it play out to follow the character. I don't need to know the backstory of every single character on screen if the movie I'm watching is entertaining and the characters are interesting. So I don't really care about that backstory excuse, which seems to be the major talking point for like what's going to change. And I think that's a major talking point because it's coming from the people making the movies. And that's the changes they're going to make. But for me as a viewer, I just want a self-contained movie.
Yeah, and I felt that was one of the biggest problems with the Captain America movie is that it felt like it was sort of a placeholder in between other movies. It didn't feel like it really had much purpose in itself. It was like we're just filling the gap here in between major films. There's something else coming. This is just kind of a temporary filling. Causes of superhero fatigue.
Too many fucking superhero movies. Despite the fact that I'm not that enthused about the movies I saw this year, I am looking forward to Spider-Man. I do like the character. I do think the movies are worth watching. And I am looking forward to the Avengers. I mean, not the new Avengers slash Thunderbolts. I mean, actual Avengers, Doomsday and Secret Wars. Secret Wars was one of my favorite comic books as a kid, so I can't not miss that. Doctor Doom's a great character. Robert Downey Jr. is a great actor. I think James Gunn's a good director. I think he just needs to stick with what he's good at. I mean, I think we said this during the Superman review, which is like 2.5 hours long. So I'll just say it real quick to you now. I wish he would have just stuck with characters that he loves writing, and that's the Justice Gang. So if he does a Justice Gang movie, I'm all in for it. So, I mean, if the quality is there, I'm gonna still be all in on watching them. But I do think that the end is coming near because history has told us that these things do come to an end. And video game movies are breathing down their neck. They're making more money than the comic book movies as we speak. And this was an amazing year for horror movies, and horror movies are definitely on the rise as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we probably are nearing the end here, and I'm probably a little less excited than you are about the future movies, although I have an open mind about them. Because I agree, I didn't hate any of these movies. I thought they were all okay.
Yes, you did. You hated Captain America.
Well, maybe Captain America, but but the other ones, they were entertaining enough. They just weren't that inspiring, or they just weren't amazing. They weren't great movies. They had good moments. So yeah, I would keep an open mind as these movies come out, and especially if they have good buzz and all that, I'll probably fall for it again. But but I think yeah, they're going to have to either really impress me soon, or yeah, I think it is basically coming to the end.
Yeah. Well, before it ends, I still need to make my Deadpool parody, so I'm gonna go start doing some filming. Till next time.